Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So the long anticipated RGB10S has arrived, and today we're going to dive in to see if it's any good. We all know that the arcade consoles of last year and also the start of this year have been in such abundance that it is, everybody was sick to death of that chipset. But one thing that I've noticed with having new additions to the library, which is the Odin, obviously the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, one thing that I do miss is the Linux based side of things, where you could customize it and really delve in and make it personalized to your own. It really is difficult with these new Android devices and Windows devices to actually have it personalized the way that you want to. I know that there is a lot of development in the works to make sure that, like Bottasera on the Windows development side of things and Emulation and so forth, but I just miss the old style retro handheld. So this is a new one from Powkiddy. This is the RGB10S. Let's see if it's worth a purchase or not. Let's get right into the video. So here we have the RGB10S. On the packaging itself, it doesn't state that it's an RGB10S, it just says RGB10. But this, just let's move this aside, this is an RGB10. I absolutely loved this original one when it first came out. I thought it was an absolute amazing device. The screen was fantastic. It was just an absolute joy. I also did a modification with swapping out the switch analog stick and putting in a PS Vita, which I felt had a lot more control, and obviously with the size of the PS Vita analog stick itself, it meant that the radius of it shrunk dramatically, which made it a lot more pocketable. Now I still use this. This is the Bottasera 33, I think, so the most latest up to date, and as you can see, it still holds up with a fantastic looking screen. It really is nice, and it is a joy to play retro games on. So I know we have all the new systems and everybody is raving on, sorry about the noise there guys, raving on about the new more powerful systems that can run GameCube, PS2, Wii and so forth a lot better. But I'm still a massive fan of retro gaming, which is all the older generation of games like Game Boy Advance, Nintendo, TurboGrafx, Commodore 64, Spectrum, all the arcade games, some PSP, PlayStation 1, one of my favourites, Neo Geo, Naomi, Dreamcast, the list is endless. And with this, we have got software that has been developed for it over many years now, and it is coming to the best that it could possibly be. So I'm a massive fan. The only thing that I didn't like was it wasn't OCA laminated on the screen, but the original RGB10 I absolutely loved. There was also an upgrade, which was the RGB10 Max. Now this, when it first came out, was such an absolute joy. Also, you'll see a very similar theme of this one having a inclusion of a second analog stick. Shoulder buttons were very well placed. It was really comfortable. The huge screen made it just an absolute joy, and even to this day, this is still one of my favorites that I absolutely love. It really is. I love the sleek design. It reminiscent of a Nintendo Switch Lite, but still very good. The D-pad was excellent. The placement of the switch analog sticks are very low profile as well, which made it really comfortable to put in a pocket, even though it was on the big side. It was just an absolute joy. Then they upgraded again. Then they upgraded again to the RGB10 Max 2. This is by far the best big 5-inch screen retro handheld you can get at present. It is absolutely phenomenal. The ergonomics are really nice. The triggers and the stack trigger buttons are really nice. Still very thin, but very nice, and as I say, it is really comfortable in the hands. The large screen is great, the buttons are lovely, the D-pad's great, the screen is immersive. Really not a bad thing to say about this. This is one of Powkiddy's greatest handhelds that they've made to date so far. So I'm really eager to see just how well the RGB10S has taken from the RGB range and just what have they amalgamated into each other to produce the RGB10S. So without further ado, let's get on with the unboxing and first impressions. There we go. So normal standard box, nothing spectacular. It is standard. There wasn't any different color variants. You just get the white version, and it also has a switch analog stick. I will leave the specs on the screen. I'll just move this over while I take it out, just so you can see the specs. We all also know just how well this will perform with any software which you choose or front end you wish to have on there. The OS, which will be neither Emulation, Batacera, RetroOS, ArcOS. The list is absolutely endless with this chipset, and it's up to you to choose your favorite of what you like. So here it is. Okay, it's a lot smaller than what I anticipated it to be, but the screen is a 4x3 inch, I think. 4.3 inch, should I say, screen, which will give you a very nice screen to play your retro games on. I do believe it is a 3:2 aspect ratio, which will be perfect for arcade and also Game Boy Advance. So it is a mono speaker. If I have a look at the buttons themselves, the buttons are very reminiscent of the RGB10 Max 2, I believe. Very nice, good bit of travel, don't directly go into the system itself, and they spring back very quickly. I like. So the screen itself, hopefully it'll be good. The D-pad feels really nice. There is a very slight concave to it, but not much, but it does feel very responsive and very springy. The switch analog stick is standard, but as you can see, it's not recessed back into the unit itself, leaving it flush with the top. It is very tall and sticks out quite a considerable amount. We have our usual volume buttons. The trigger buttons themselves are a lot smaller this time around. So let's just do a comparison. So we'll do a comparison of size from the original. So there's not much difference in the size. The size has stayed the same, but as you can see, when they're side by side, one is a continuous block shape and the other one is a very sharp edge going into a smooth. I'm not too sure which one I like, actually. I'll have to play it quite a bit to judge that, but yeah, it does seem to be a little bit taller. Let's go with the RGB10 Max 2 just to have the comparison. Sorry about the noise going past. So you can also see that the stacked buttons are considerably smaller, as you would expect them to be, but still they were thin on the Max 2, and they seem to have the same level of travel and clickiness. They're a little bit more harsh and a little bit more stiff on the RGB10S. We'll have to see how it feels in the hands. On the top, it seems to have a continuation of the RGB10 Max, but without the volume. But obviously these will be the volume probably. It would have been nice to have an option to have the volume on the unit itself. So that's my first gripe. But yeah, power button, restart button, TF card slot, charge, 3.5 headphone jack. Obviously we can transfer data on ROMs or add Wi-Fi, external Wi-Fi, even though it has Wi-Fi built in, but you might want 5G because I think this is 2.4, not 5G. But we've got the OTG port. We also have our Wi-Fi on and off. So yeah, not bad. Impressed so far. So let's turn the unit on. It normally ships with Emulation, that's what it has been. RGB10S, Emulation. Takes about 20 seconds to load in, guys. 22, there we go. So this is stock, this is what you're going to get. So we just click into, if we just go through to arcade, we have 78, Final Bernier we have 798, MAME we have 231, Bandai 48, Wonderson 141, 32 CPS1, CPS2 37. I'll just go through, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you what the numbers are with games underneath. But this is what you'll get with the system itself. Oh, low-end systems only seem to have a low amount of games, I've noticed. They have stacked a lot on here. That is good. And then we're back to square one. Okay, so yeah, not too bad. That screen is really nice. It is OCA laminated, so as you can see it has a very, very good viewing angle. I hope it comes up on the screen just how nice this image is. This is one of the best screens I've seen so far on a handheld, actually. That's really crisp, really vibrant and sharp. That is really nice. I like that. Okay, so my first impressions, it feels really nice. It feels solid. It doesn't move or jiggle about. It feels really sturdy. The D-pad itself, as I say, feels really responsive. Not too sure why they've swapped them around. I would have preferred the orientation to have the switch on the bottom and the D-pad on the top. I'd love to know in the comments what you think and whether you agree or disagree. Start select, mono speaker, but if it's the same mono speaker as the RGB10 Max, it will produce really nice sound. Yeah, I like it. Let's see how it feels in the hand. So let's load a quick game up, something that will test the D-pad out and show the buttons. So let's go with some Street Fighter. Yeah, I'm not too sure if it's coming across, but that image is absolutely brilliant. The color balance is really nice as well. Viewing angles are absolutely spot on. Look at that, super sharp. The clarity is really nice. And the beauty about the big screen, when it goes into 4:3, you do get a lot of screen. So as I originally thought, the D-pad is really nice, and you can pull out moves really nice. Now this is the worst side for me to actually pull off moves, so I apologise. So if I actually pull off a move on that side, then I am a happy man. Yeah, D-pad is beautiful. 2 seconds, guys, while I kick this guy's ass. Ah, he kicked my ass. Okay, yeah, so the controls are really, really nice. I was a bit worried about the top shoulder buttons, but I think how I hold it, my fingers tap it here. So as you can see, there's no need for me to do this, which is uncomfortable. But if I just use the edge of my finger there, it still feels really, really nice. So yeah, I'm having no issues whatsoever with them. I think it works really well. As for the bottom, yeah, same. It doesn't really matter because of the curvature of this side bit here. Same again, you can just use your fingers. So it's not bad at all. So first impressions, yeah, and the buttons are really responsive, guys. As you can see, getting out the special moves, easy goddamn peasy. And as I say, the actual screen and the hue and the temperature and the colours themselves are really vibrant. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this, to be honest. I do miss the old retro handhelds, not the new powerful beasts that are out at the moment. So yeah, I think it may be a little too late for some people, but I think if you're into just retro gaming, as in the actual retro games themselves, from Sinclair Spectrum right the way up to, you know, a few N64 games, then I don't think this is a bad shout. The screen is big enough to enjoy really well, and it is definitely small enough to be very pocketable. It's just a shame that you have this very, very prominent switch analog stick. Like, you can even see the ball at the bottom and what it rotates, so that's a bit annoying. But I'm sure with the RGB10 original that you will be able to swap this out for a PS Vita analog stick, which will lower the profile and make it even more pocketable, and then you will have a very, very nice unit. But so far, my first impressions are really, really good. I'd love to know what you think in the comments, guys. What I'll do now is I'll just quickly do a gameplay reel of what the performance is like on each system, if you haven't seen RK chip handheld running, and then at the end I'll give a summary of what my experience was playing those games, and then my final thoughts on that. Just going to show off some Pico 8. Afterburner 2 on PC Engine. Castlevania 3 NES. It looks so good. Double Dragon for the Game Boy. Donkey Kong Country SNES. If you want to get in to change any options as well, it's just hold select and X. So we go down into options. We can change the aspect ratio. Many different options you can do. But the colours, the saturation and the colour balance is absolutely one of the best I've seen on a arcade handheld, or even a normal handheld that I've used so far on the channel. It is beautiful. They've really done a great job on this screen. There's no blare or ghosting or anything. It's really, really smooth. Very impressed. Virtual Boy, Wario Land. N64 Mario 64. The performance on N64 has increased significantly since the last time I played it with all the updates. But there's two systems that I do think that work an absolute treat on this. One is Game Boy Advance because of the native aspect ratio. It looks and plays amazing. Like, I don't know if it's coming across, but just look how amazing that looks. That is absolutely a joy. It just looks incredible. Look at it. I've never seen GBA looking so good. So if you're a massive fan of GBA, this handheld is definitely for you guys. And likewise with Arcade, which I'll showcase next. Another system that looks absolutely fantastic is Arcade. That screen is stunning. I really do hope it's coming across just how amazing that screen is, guys. Honestly, it just really pops. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. So I've been playing for quite a little time on it now. I did actually pause the video here and actually played a lot more games just to test out and see how I felt, just by control wise. If you hold it like I hold it, which is just slightly with my fingers just on the edge of the screen, and then just your fingers tapping at the top, and then using a thumbstick and analog stick how you like it. If you hold it closer like this, it does feel uncomfortable over a period of time, but if you stretch your fingers out a little bit and just use like the full stretch of your fingers and thumbs, then I had no issue whatsoever and I didn't feel any cramps. It felt incredibly comfortable, so like you're lightly holding it. But the unit itself is absolutely incredible. The D-pad's fantastic. We all know what the Switch analog sticks are like. I had no issues with the trigger buttons whatsoever. I think it's really nice that they have the trigger buttons and they're just so easy just to tap like this. No issues with pressing them. Inputs were fine. The buttons themselves were fantastic. The speaker's really nice. But the big thing for this, guys, is the screen. This is the best screen I have seen on a handheld so far, and that's including the Odin as well. This screen is wonderful. The price of admission for this alone, for this screen, and playing GBA games and arcade games like this with that much of a clarity on the actual image and the screen quality, it's just a joy. That alone, I would recommend it. But love to know what you think, guys. I will actually do in-depth breakdown of all the systems on here as always, just so you guys get a sense of what the performance is like and how good it looks on the RGB10S. But I've been really impressed with it. I think I'm going to be using this quite a lot on my travels. I think the larger screen, the fact that it looks so good, yeah, and it plays perfectly fine. Yeah, love to know what your thoughts are, guys. If there is anything else you wish to see with this, let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, take care.